Okay, welcome to our class on going natural without going broke. The economy is doing a thing right now, and even if it's not, I think it's always good to be a wise steward of our money. So even if you're rolling in the dough, we need to be frugal with that money and use it wisely. So we're going to give you lots of tips today. So I'm excited about this. So first of all, why go natural in the first place? So first of all, we were having a little sidebar conversation before this started about just the avoidance of panic as a mother. Let me just first speak as a mother. I'm not a father, but as a mother, I tend to get very worked up if something is wrong with my child, and especially my child. And the amount of panic that I have avoided in the last 9, almost 10 years of using oils is unbelievable, because now I know how they work, and I have full confidence because they have always worked for us. When we grab the things that are the right things to grab, we have avoided that panic. And it is just, honestly, that's the biggest, that'll save me money and my life, just to not have to panic anymore. And then not needing to get an appointment and pay for that appointment, reducing the amount of medicines in the cabinet, all or nothing, or some, whatever it can be. You can for surely have that impact on your medicine cabinet. And then the DIYs, which we're going to share, some, but if you think about I've got to grab a gift at the last minute. I mean, we can make things so easy and so pretty and so special for people, which is so great, as well as homemade things for our home. I know I love to make my own hand soaps. I can customize them, way less expensive than I can buy a hand soap. I like to, do a pumpkin spice one in the fall. I can really customize everything. Reducing our chemical exposure is another great way to a reason why to go natural. Strengthen all of our body systems, so we can, it's just also, I would say also accidentally strengthening our body systems. I mean, how many times have you used a Young Living product for one thing and find that it's actually remedying something else in your body at the same time? So that's just such a nice way, instead of having to deal with negative side effects, to have positive effects, which is awesome. And then really the fact is that you're either going to pay for your wellness or you're going to pay for your illness. So we would much rather pay for wellness. And the last way is obvious. The last reason to go natural is obviously just to be healthier. Oh, that's a good reason. All right. So community knowledge. This is something that is so amazing that comes with part of Young Living, is that you are part of a community, and your community offers you free support. I cannot tell you how much insight and knowledge I have gained in the last almost 10 years of just asking someone, have you ever dealt with this before? What did you use? How did you use it? And just having that support and knowing that it's worked, something has worked for someone else, and knowing what to do for myself. So many years of community knowledge, free access to health professionals on our teams. And just honestly, if you think about it, a practitioner is someone who practices. And we are all practicing. We're all practicing on how to help ourselves heal. And we can all learn from each other, whether you have a specific certificate or degree or not. We have all these cool body scanners that we can use. I know that, many teams offer free body scans for their team. I know I do for my team. So take advantage of those as well. And as well as so many resource books and apps that we can utilize. So we don't have to be the experts, and there's so much information at our fingertips. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Melissa.
Hey, I had to unmute myself here for a second. Sorry, I'm also trying to get a view that I can see the whole screen. Okay. How to make products stretch. I got to say that when I saw that we were doing this topic this month, I knew that it was the class to sign up for, to help share, because part of my why I came into Young Living, when I got started, I had 5 babies within 8 years. And I found Young Living. A doula actually invited me to my first Young Living gathering, and it was a nurse that presented. My youngest was 2 months old at the time, and I'd come through a difficult pregnancy, and I was so intrigued. And I told a lady who helped me get started, I'm not going to do this as a business several times. I told her that, but I we were living on my husband's income, and I felt like I couldn't afford all the natural and healthy things that I wanted for my family. And so I fell in love with oils that first month and ran out of my bottle of Peace and Calming, in like 10 days or something. And I knew that I wanted more. And I had a gathering, and I loved that I got a check, about $100 that first month, that enabled me to purchase more. And I just fell in love with so many parts of Young Living. And I was watching my pennies at the time, and I still do, because with 5 kids, there's a lot of things to buy when you have 5 growing children. When you have 1 growing child, there's a lot of things to buy. Children are just growing. And so love being frugal and making things stretch, and knowing that I have the empowerment to know how to do that. And so I love being able to share that with people. So a few things to note. Bottle sizes. Sometimes it might be in your best interest to buy a 15 ml, even though it costs a little bit more, because you get more bang for your buck if it's an oil that you use a lot. Now, sometimes you might want to get the 5 ml to try it out, or if it's a super expensive oil, it might be a good fit for you. But just keep in mind that when you get the bigger bottles, you actually do get more bang for your buck. Multi-purpose products. I love that when I have peppermint on my shelf and lemon on my shelf, I can use them in a multitude of ways. And there's many, many products that Young Living has that we could say this about. Bundles are the best value. Don't forget about that. The kit, what's it called? But I'll say any kits that Young Living has are usually a 5 to 10% discount over buying products individually, or I should say bundles, that's the word now. But I'm talking not just about starter bundles, but the other bundles that we get, like the raindrop in the box, the I'm thinking of, is it called the endocrine kit? Does somebody help me out? It's like a little orange box, and it has
Golden Touch.
Golden Touch, yes, thank you. That's what it is. The Feelings kit. All of these kits are bundled at a value. And also keep this in mind, as convention is happening here in the next month. Sometimes they come out with bundles, and they're oftentimes discounted. So don't forget about that. Everything can be diluted. And y'all probably know this, but of course, Thieves Household Cleaner, which is made to be diluted, but peppermint lavender doesn't have to be diluted, but it certainly can be. And when I got started, I had the toddlers who like to put the oils on themselves, but then it was always like, are they going to get too much? Are they going to rub it in their eyes? So I learned really quick, fill a roll on, put like 5 drops of lavender or digize or peppermint, whatever it is, fill the rest of the way with carrier oil, and then let them keep those little rollers in their room and rub them to their little heart's content on their belly and their feet. And of course, now we have kids scents. We didn't have those when my babies were little and I got started, but that's the thought process. What else do we have here? No fillers in products, get more bang for your buck. Much higher absorption on supplements. Choose the best oil for purpose with the best price. So, for example, if you open your reference guide and it lists 5 different oils, you may not have all those oils, but the lady who taught me always said, use what you have, but also you could use the most economical one you have. Like, for example, we were talking about this when we were planning blood stopping oils, right? If you have a wound or a cut and you're trying to get control of the bleeding. Oh, we have this here. Okay, so helichrysum works, and if you have it, that's great. You might, in an emergency, just grab that one because it's the closest one to your fingertips. But if you have geranium, that's an even better price. Or you might have cypress, which is an even better price. So just keep those things in mind. You can use some oils more generously if they're less cost. Okay. Also, something to remember is that blends that contain those oils can also work to the same purpose. So if you are out camping and you don't have geranium, but you have joy, joy might do what you need it to do. It probably will do. Repurposed containers. This is little oil bottles. I throw all mine into a jar until I have like 100. And then we turn an audiobook on and the kids and I just take the time and take the labels off. And then we reuse them and put the Young Living roller tops on. I see comments flying. So I think you guys are sharing more ways to repurpose bottles in the comments. Of course, Thieves Household Cleaner, the 14 ounce, you can get spray tops that fit directly on that bottle. So that's a great option if you have multiple children and cleaners that I do. So everyone gets their own spray bottle, or you can have a spray bottle in each room. You can just get the tops on Amazon. And first aid products that don't expire. So we don't have expirations on our oils. I keep oils in my first aid kit, in my camper, in my house. Absolutely love that. We have here listed for you essential oils on a budget under $10. And like I said, this is a great way to get started. Maybe if you've never tried an oil, we get these for free a lot in our monthly gifts with purchase. If you know you love it and you're going to use a lot of it, get the bigger bottle. But this is a fun way to have a larger selection. If you're like me and you want one of each of them, you can get that in the small bottles. And then the Thieves starter, or the essential oil starter bundle. This is the values we have listed out here. All the individual products, the retail price, and the discount with a 24% off. Not to forget about, through the end of this month on this, is 277 the PV, or no, it's 100 PV, right, on all the starter bundles. You get an additional 10% off. So if you or someone wants a bundle, this is absolutely the best way to get started money wise. And at this point, I think Amanda's going to take over.
I am. All right. So I wanted to share just a little bit about some of the ways that I've saved. Much like Melissa, when this topic came up, I jumped on it. When I started in Young Living, I had 16 kids at home, and I had 14 kids at home and 2 in college. So 16 kids we were providing for, which is a lot. And my husband was a pastor at a church that was generous, but I mean, still, that's a lot of people to slice that pie into. So in fact, I was telling one of my friends yesterday that when I went to check out that night, my card declined. And so we lived literally penny to penny. And if I hadn't learned a little bit about how to do this in a natural way, in a frugal way, I wouldn't have even been able to reorder. So just remember that one drop of an oil can go a really long way. Sometimes I remember that I am completely blessed and can dump like 6-7 drops on something topically. I actually just had a kid in here less than an hour ago, and he had been out and had chiggers. And so I rubbed some oil on him. Now, what I've done that 10.5 years ago when I carried a bottle around and every drop was, that's all we had. Probably not. So what would I have done? Well, just remember, one drop under the tongue can go a really long way. If it's an oil where like you might apply 5 drops, 10 drops topically, try a drop under the tongue. I did that with the Lavender Vitality in my story right before we started, right? So if you're just catching up, also don't think you have to do a ton of drops. Start with 1, but do it more frequently. Allie's great tip about doing, Allie can give our the Thieves protocol over in the comments. That protocol with 1 drop has really helped my family very quickly. It's 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop. Instead of thinking if I dump 10 drops into something, it's going to fix it right away. Sometimes just a little bit more frequently is more effective. So know that you don't have to dump 5 drops on. That's one of the biggest things I had to learn, because I used other oils first and they had a bunch of fillers. And so what would have been in a recipe, like a DIY recipe, and it says like 40 drops of peppermint in a spray, is not 40 drops when you're using Young Living. It is not the same comparison at all. And just remember that sometimes getting the oil in or on your body is more important regardless of like how you do it. So use that Thieves mouthwash and toothpaste. If you don't have Thieves essential oil, I actually literally just put Thieves on right before we started. on something I'm dealing with in my mouth while I wait to go to the dentist. And but if you have mouthwash or toothpaste, you're going to be brushing your teeth anyway. Getting the power of thieves in your toothpaste does amazing stuff, and it's just a little bit more than maybe what you would have bought at a regular store. And I also want to say the same thing goes with things like helichrysum. You maybe don't have that bottle of helichrysum. Do you have pan away from your starter kit? Do you have owie? Do you have lavaderm? Like, there's other ways to get things on your body in a great way. I don't necessarily like, sometimes layering, not sometimes, probably layering is almost always more effective. But when you're on the go, when you're using it with kids, when you're using it, when you don't have a lot and you need to stretch it, consider making your DIY roller bottle and diluting. Okay. And don't feel bad if you have to dilute something, because it makes it go farther if that helps you. Like, when I look at some other valuable things in Young Living, one of the things I know is that when I can swap something that helps me save money, I feel really good about that. Using the kids line to save is also another way to really save money. It's diluted, and I'll get to the animal sense in just a second. They're diluted, and so they have great price points. Something like tummy dries versus dye dries, it is diluted, but it's very effective, and it actually has a really pleasant aroma, or things like owie. And then, like, in animal sense, one of the things we use in my family, I have a lot of kids, they're adopted. We have used Trauma White as our oil of choice for some things, but TOA in the animal sense line is very similar, and it's diluted. And so if you
in the microwave.
me there,
Oh, maybe on tape.
a second. All right, I got it. Sorry about that. So as you think about that, Trauma Life is very similar to TOA, but TOA is like an incredible price point. And then staggering supplements. So I was at a workshop once, and maybe you're like me. So if you think I can't afford that, so you just don't even try. But one of the things Dr. Purser said is that even if you took Master Formula every other day, you're doing better than most of the people who think they're taking a multivitamin every day and it's doing good. So consider staggering your supplements, and whether that's every other day or whether it's, like, here's my best example. When we started doing Ninja for our family, we couldn't afford that everybody had an entire serving of Ninja every day, but I splashed Ninja in everybody's single cup, and everybody had some Ninja every day. And some is always better than none. And I just want to encourage you with that. So, and also stagger them throughout the day, so that you have better effectiveness. Thank you. That's a really good tip. Next slide, please, Ms. Allie. All right. So it's really crucial that you know about how you're going to save this money, and you just make the best decisions for you by being educated, by having resource books, and you're looking at things like Allie said, just when we started, you're either paying for wellness or you're paying for illness, and illness is always more expensive. Yesterday, I read this quote, and it said, the healthy person wishes for a million things, but an ill person only wishes for, or a person who doesn't have good health only wishes for one thing, and it's priceless and they can't obtain it. So I just want to encourage you for that. We've covered choosing your best oil for purpose. And I definitely looked, when I was making good oil decisions right up front, to like financial decisions, which oils I could afford and which oils would work for lots and lots of things. And a lot of time, you guys, that's going to be our starter bundles. And so when you get started, I want to encourage you, ask your person who helped you get started to save you some empty bottles, start splitting those starter kit oils up, put them in locations where you're going to use them, and then refill them with another starter bundle, especially now that you can get it on loyalty rewards. And this part here is one of my favorite things. When we're in good health and we're working on it from this foundational spot of we're working towards wellness, we are going to be healthier. We're going to recover faster. We're going to have less missed things. You may have been way long ago, if my husband had to take off to come home and cover me because I was under the weather and I didn't recover very fast, we'd have more like sick days and things like that. Our kids would miss out on things, not just like financially, but also opportunity wise. So let's just give our body every single good thing to get started with. Next. Okay. We're going to ask you in just a little bit. Allie asked you right before the video recording started to share your best hacks with us. And we're going to compile them, and I'm going to teach you how to save this chat so that you're going to be able to come back to our favorite recipes. So if you didn't grab your favorite hack, I want to encourage you to do it now. Now, you don't have to hack anything from Young Living at all. But what I want you to know is I have 7 kids still live at home. We've been in Young Living almost 11 years. So I'm down to 7 kids at home. And I do still hack my laundry soap because my kiddos don't understand that you only need, when you're using something with no fillers, something that is an absolute quarter of that little cup. And they don't want to stop at that little quarter. So we dilute our laundry soap, and we get that way, if they accidentally overuse it a little bit, like I use a Sharpie and I draw along the line, but they'll never stop there. We're still saving money, and they're not overfilling. Or a lot of times I think people are like, oh, I can't afford Young Living. I need to have, I'm going to go to the dollar store and grab my cleaners. And I just want to tell you, whoa, you don't even know what you're putting in your body. And look at this, Thieves Cleaner make 20 spray bottles, $1.28 per bottle. What's a Dollar Tree right now? $1.25, right? $1.25 tree. So we're going to put a blog post right up here with great Thieves Cleaner hacks as well. But grab your favorite money saving tip. We're going to get to you in just a second. All right, next one. Young Living gives us these quality products that we can trust, that don't have fillers, that work for your body, that lead you to wellness in this amazing community. Along the way, through our loyalty rewards program, you're going to earn loyalty points. Whether you start at loyalty at $50, 50 PV, or 100 PV, or you're able to take advantage of some of the higher tiers, 190, 250, 300, you're going to earn those loyalty points every single month. And they really do add up. Months 1 through 3 at 10%, month 4, you start 20%, month 25, 25% back. How do I use this to save myself money and my family? I don't pay for my laundry soap. I use my points and redeem them, and I get it for free. The same thing for sometimes some of our gift ideas. Like if I want to give maybe a wedding gift, I'll use my points and grab it for free. Around the holidays, I save up my points November and December, and I buy mini toothpaste for every single stocking that I'm going to fill, or lip balm, and I just have those things available and on hand, and I haven't paid for them at all. They're completely free with loyalty points. We also get gifts with purchase several times along the Young Living journey of loyalty rewards. And those things are also tools that you can turn around and use in your home to save you money, as well as maybe you want to gift them. I don't know about you, but if you have, end of school year gifts or things like that, these are a great opportunity to take those free gifts and look at how you can use them to turn them into a DIY, or just package them with something kind of fun and make a gift for it as well. And now that we get a free diffuser on month 2 of our loyalty, we are able to use our oils so much. Like, I just remember when I got my starter bundle, I would carry my diffuser from room to room throughout the day. What a blessing it is to either have a second diffuser or turn around and get another one to gift as well. Our discounted bundles from Young Living save us so much money. I have to tell you that I get a Thieves starter bundle every 3 months on my loyalty, because I use the Thieves product, and that's just one thing. Like, I restock 3, maybe 4 months. So check that for your family size, right? Like, we still get laundry soap in between, and dish soap, but check that for your laundry family size. Also, the Ninja starter bundle and that oil starter bundle we have used over and over. And that's such a blessing now to be able to do some of those around my house and have a diffuser for our rooms. Not only does Young Living give us all these amazing discounts and free product, they also give us an income opportunity. And we're going to move into that next. But lastly, I want to tell you, Young Living will also do amazing things sometimes, and pay attention for it. You might think about, like, I'm not really a sharer in Young Living, but Young Living has just sent to me and other people here $1,000 worth of free oils that we would not have had without Young Living and one of their contests in sharing. And that takes me back to the very first time I won something in Young Living. And it was oils that really changed lots of families' lives in my area. And so I just want to encourage you, pay attention to free contests from Young Living. If they're doing like some sort of share this thing and get this oil for free, take advantage of it, because that's just going to make it all the more. And for free vacations, Stacey, one of our co-hosts right now in the Caymans. Many of us just got back from a free trip with Young Living. We've been able to go to the farms that Young Living has throughout the world, and maybe some foundation trips with, I've been to Africa and Ecuador. We've been able to go to the different rank retreats. And that's all experiences I would have never, ever had without Young Living. Okay, next one. So when we started doing this class, we talked about how, like some of the ideas of where this class spurred from. And this quote from Karen Malone just was one of the ones that really resonated with me. She says, when you invest in your health, Young Living puts an income in your bank account and invests, I would say, back in you. And go ahead to the next one. Without the Young Living financial opportunity, I would never have been able to order that second order. Remember my first order, that credit card declined. So when I went to go ahead and do that second order, it really came because I started sharing Young Living with others. And we've never been in a spot before where that's been easier, because you can just help somebody get started and then get paid your referral link. And whomever's inviting you to tonight's call can share that information with you, but you can get your oil order covered. And without that, we were just doing like the bare basics. I want to tell you that we used some of our very first 3 points, changed our families' lives with like product testimonials forever. I'm so grateful. And makes your family budget friendlier. I don't know about you, but it costs more now to do things that we were laughing about how much it costs to go out to eat. How much does it cost to go to the grocery store? How much does it cost to go buy clothes? Everything is going up. So how about you give your family budget just a little bit more room by sharing Young Living with others? It can really help cover the extras. One of my first fun expenses I got to do was help my kiddo, who was passionate about it, do tumbling. And that was something that just was not in our family budget. And I know I'm probably not the only person who's had to cut back a little bit with the cost of current life going up. So help cover those extras. You might be able to replace a second job. Oops. You'll find a lot of freedom in sharing, and you find out all about how to earn Young Living money at youngliving.com/IDS. I breathed. Go ahead. All right. I'm going to pass it back to Allie, who's going to go ahead and close us out after this one. Don't forget, we're now taking your biggest money saving tip. We're going to add it to the chat box. And I want to let you know how to save the chat box on tonight's call. There's 3 little dots on the call if you are watching on a computer. If you're on a phone, you're probably going to have to ask somebody to save it for you. But use those 3 little dots at the end of the chat before we stop. Save the chat, and you'll save all of these hacks that we're about to share over with you, and you'll be able to take that with you. It'll be in your documents. Allie, you've got some more fun saving tips.
I think you covered most of them, but we just have some slides here on just some of the least expensive oils, and I highly encourage you to use your resources and look up in your resources what all these oils are good for. So for instance, sorry, I'm trying to fix there we go. Okay. So if you look here are some great ones. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've never met someone who had a digestive issue and didn't become a believer in Young Living after using Digest. That is a huge one. But if you look here, just great.
I'm sorry to make you work after you're done with work.
Can y'all help me with the muting? Sorry, that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so there's tons and tons of oils in here that are less than $20. And when you look at how far you can make your oil stretch, like Amanda said earlier, one of my favorite ways to stretch oils is when I'm using them for a health purpose is to put a drop under the tongue. You get so much that way. So here's, you can take a little screenshot here, under $20. Under $15. Somehow these got out of order. No big deal. So under $15, under $25. If you want to screenshot that. And by the way, if you go into the website, you can sort by pricing as well. And then here's some lifestyle products on a budget. So if you look at, we were talking earlier about lavender lip balm. That is super, super useful for other things than lips. So it's a great way to have very inexpensive lavender in your hip pocket, flossing your teeth and getting thieves inside your gums. That is really great to support your immune system. And it's very inexpensive, for instance. So look at some of these products here. You're probably buying pasta anyway. You can buy one that's a lot better for your body. Just something to think about there. All right. So with that, I'm going to look here and see if we've got any. I'm going to stop the share. And then let's see what kind of hacks that we have here that I can read on the recording. for later that are compliant?
I'll start with mine while we're
Yeah,
kind
go
of
for it.
Yeah, so I was at a ball game. This will surprise nobody who knows me, but I was at a ball game and one of the kids took like this huge like skidded across the floor and they came running at me and I was like literally I had my bag, but it was in the car, but I had my lip balm in my pocket, so it was a little bit warm because it was in my pocket, and I rubbed the lavender lip balm on their road rash with my finger. I like didn't like wipe my lip, yeah, but I wiped it on there and it like moisturized it and it covered it and it had the lavender in it and it was just the easiest, fastest thing you could have thought of in just a second.
Yeah. Does anyone have any other tips that they'd like to share? If not, we'll stop the recording and then we can talk freely.